All right, are you both the primary ASGs for the cases that we have presently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and how is it split up? Mr. Henderson, how is it split up?
Well, my numbers were all wrong on my calendar, so I just took the first 7 pages.
Okay. Ms. Riley, do you know the position? Do you know the position numbers for your cases?
I do, Your Honor. I have pages 8 through 13, but I start with position 11, but they are not in sequential order.
You're absolutely right. So another challenge, okay, that we've got.
Yeah.
All right, and PDs, we have Mr. Haddad, who is in the courtroom, and panel SCO G33 defendant. And do we have another PD?
Yes, Your Honor. Bruce Vail.
Mr. Vail.
Public
Okay.
Defender's Office views.
Thank you. All right. All right. Good morning, folks. My name is Judge Law. This is our Fulton County State Orca calendar. This is a selection of cases that have been assigned to the judicial officers to preside over them. And a significant number of the cases may be a little older than we prefer them to be. But nevertheless, we will try to see if we can reach a resolution to some, if not all, the cases. For the defense counsel, whether you're with a public defender's office, the conflict defense counsel, or if you are a privately retained attorney, we will give you an opportunity to have a breakout with the designated prosecutor, whom we've identified as Ms. Riley and Mr. Henderson, to see if you can reach a resolution of your case today. Hopefully, given the age of most of these cases, discovery would already have been communicated or transmitted. And for those of the individuals who are here, defendants who do not know who is representing you, whether you're represented by the public defense attorney, by the conflict defense attorney, or if you haven't had an opportunity to apply for the public defense attorney, I am going to ask the defense paralegal to place the information in the chat feature about how you can reach out to the public defender's office and fill out an application to apply for their services. So Mr. Haddad, Ms. Vail, do you have your paralegal to put that information in the chat feature, please?
Ms. Lawless already in the chat.
Oh, I joined the chat late. I'm so sorry. So
Yes, Your Honor, we do. Ms. Vogel, our paralegal, has posted the information in the chat. If I may just briefly, for any defendants who are online who would like the services of our office, you need to email Ms. Vogel. She will get you an application, and once that is completed, then we should be able to get you representation.
all right, thank you. This is a list of misdemeanor cases, if you are a defendant charged with one or more misdemeanor offense on this calendar, please remember you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case during the course of this recorded and live stream proceeding, your statements will be documented and can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, please avail and take opportunity to apply for the services of the public defender's office to see if you qualify for their services. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you're represented by a private attorney. If you choose to waive your right to counsel and represent yourself, please remember I cannot give you legal advice. You would be responsible to understand how the law would legally impact and affect the facts of your case or your personal circumstances. You would be responsible for understanding and not being ignorant of the law. So position number 1, I have Rafael Lemus, L-E-M-U-S. Rafael Lemus, are you present? Rafael Lemus, are you present? Okay. This is a 2002 case, 02CR 260770. What is the state's position? Mr. Henderson?
Looking for buttons. we're not gonna, I mean, we're still proceeding. It's a gun case. So they kind of ought to be here.
All right, I see that a bond forfeiture was set aside on January 29th, 2021. I'm not certain why Mr. Lemus is not present, so I'm going to address that towards the end of the calendar. Excuse me, and Gaynor Conteste, we have Khalil Edie as counsel.
Yes, Judge, that would be me. Good morning.
All right, good morning. All right, Mr. Henderson, is there an offer in this case?
I will get with counsel in just a couple of minutes as we're going through the calendar.
All right, so Mr. Edie, you'll be on a breakout with Mr. Henderson. Is your client present as well, Mr. Edie?
Yes, yes, she's here on I see her located there.
Okay, good, present. Jason Robert Poirier, Corinne Mull, counsel. Jason Robert Poirier, if you're present, please unmute your screen. Not present. Corinne Mull, counsel.
Your Honor, I know Ms. Mull. I happened to have lunch with her last week. She's around. I'm not sure about the notice for her, but she's usually.
I know. So we're going to just put a not present right now. If you want to reach out to her and give her the link, that you're more than welcome to do so.
I will reach out to her.
Okay. Position 14, I have Chester Norman. Chester Norman.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Nick Benzine here on behalf of Miss Norman.
All right. And I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, okay. Well, counsel did show up. Thank you. And Mr. Benzine, is your client here, Chester Norman?
She is.
I'm here.
All right, that's good. And we're going to put you in a breakout room with Attorney
Henderson.
Henderson. Okay. To discuss this matter. And Chester Norman is positions 13 and 14. Okay. Mr. Benzine, you're aware of the case numbers and the charges with regards to both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good. Position 9, Dana Quinn, Quinn, if you're present. Dana Quinn. Dana Quinn is not present.
Oh, Judge,
Yes,
I reviewed that case. I'm going to do a non-pro. In fact, I may have already sent the non-pros to Ms. Stallworth.
you certainly have, and I am signing it right now. And this case is null pros. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Position 10, Assam L. Kubishi. Assam, E-S-A-M, Al Kubishi, hyphenated. All right. Mr. Al Kubishi is not present. And any announcements from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Goar Lauren, position 15, not present. Any announcement from the state?
Proceeding, Your Honor.
Okay. Position 3, Alfenike Katura Love. Alfenike Katura Love.
Everything's valid on that case. I think I submitted a non-pros already.
Thank you, Mr. Henson.
Yes.
And you're right about the cases being out of sequence. We are in position 5, Joseph Burge, B-U-R-G-E. Joseph Burge is not present. Announcement from the state?
Proceeding on that DUI.
Position 4, Shay Jasmine Wilson. Shay Jasmine Wilson.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Wilson, are you represented? Okay. Ms. Wilson, Mr. Henderson, announcement?
I'll process that case, Your Honor. Dismissed it.
Ms. Wilson, you had case number 15 CR 012752G, in which you were accused of driving without a valid license, failure to obey traffic signs, and the state has, and driving on a wrong way, on a one-way street. The state is not going to prosecute this matter, so the case is closed. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, you are free to go. Thank you for being here. Have a good
Thank
week.
you.
Pierre, P-I-E-R-E, last name Shy, S-H-Y. Pierre
Yes, ma'am, I'm
Shy.
here. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Mr. Shy is present. And Mr. Shy, are you represented by the public defender's attorney, counsel?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I think so.
Would you like the services of the public defender's office? And so if so, you would need to apply. Do you see the application on your chat?
Let me see. 1 second. Yes.
All right, you're present and you are applying for the services of the public defender's office. You cannot leave the Zoom until you've submitted your application. The public defender's office has given you the thumbs up or thumbs down, and then we can proceed with your case, but do not leave the Zoom. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Position 6, Hector Lewis. Hector Lewis, Mr.
Well-
Attorney Ross Gordon.
Yes, Judge. Good morning. I'm here on that case and he's on the Zoom call as well.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Henderson.
We'd like to pre-try that, Judge.
All right, Mr. Gordon, I will place you in a breakout after the conclusion of the calendar call with
Thank you,
Mr.
Judge.
Henderson.
Thank you, Judge.
Pabula Williams, Pabula Williams.
I'm here.
All right. If the host could rename that screen to Pabula Williams, position 27. Ms. Williams, are you represented by an attorney?
I think I may have a public defender, but I've never been in touch with him and I don't remember the name.
If you have a criminal misdemeanor case today and you do not know whether you're represented by the public defender's office, this is an announcement to Ms. Williams and to everyone else. Please look at the chat feature on the Zoom. It's got information from the public defender's office on how to apply for their services and get information immediately after you've submitted it as to whether you qualify for their services. If you do not qualify for their services, you will need a private attorney or you will need to represent yourself. So, Ms. Williams, have you looked at the chat feature?
No, I don't even see it.
All right, it's at the bottom of your screen. If you don't see the word chat, there would be 3 dots on your screen. Click on those dots and it will give you the pull down menu for chat.
Okay, I see a whole lot of dots. I'm pushing them all though.
What is your email address?
CubalaWilliams@gmail.com.
Slowly. Repeat that.
CubalaWilliams@gmail.com.
Any numbers or anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. You are present. Work on that on your Zoom. Look for chat. You will see the application. Otherwise, if our defense paralegal could please email an application to Pabula Williams, one word, at
Yes, ma'am.
gmail.com.
Thank you.
Demario Gearing. Demario Gearing. Demario Gearing is not present. The case
I
is
checked
not.
that license. I checked that license, Judge, and I've entered an all pros, submitted it to the court.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Position 7 is null pros. Position 28, Aaron Michael Phillips. Aaron Michael Phillips. Aaron Michael Phillips.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Present, yeah. I just had
Thank
to
you.
find the mute button.
Okay. Mr. Phillips, are you represented by counsel?
I'm not at this time. I've only seen, I walked in and out of a courtroom and like 2 years ago. They asked to follow up and then continued it till, I guess, today.
All right. Do you want to apply for the public defender's office? Or are you planning to represent
I think
yourself?
whoever
Okay.
it was, the Solicitor General or the prosecuting office had some kind of a moving violation plea at that point. I don't remember what it was. They never followed up with paperwork. I do not live in the state anymore.
All right, Mr. Phillips, remain on the Zoom. We're going to put you in a breakout room. Who would be the ASG talking to him?
That's page 7. That would be mine, Judge.
All right. This is position 28. And Mr. Phillips, while you're waiting to speak to the prosecutor, you can go ahead and click on the chat feature to see if you want to apply for the public defender's office. Once you apply, wait for them to respond before you have any communication with the prosecutor. Otherwise, if you choose to represent yourself, then you would be responsible for what you say to the prosecutor, and you'll be responsible for how the law impacts your case. Your discussion with the prosecutor may result in a possible plea offer being given to you. Do you understand, sir?
Absolutely. I'm already halfway through the application.
All right.
So now I'm working on it. Thank you.
All right. So Phillips, position 28 is applying and a possible breakout with Mr. Henderson.
Ma'am, can
Yes,
I just add, I'm willing to meet with them, whether I get the application in and approved or not, as soon as possible. I have, I'm trying to make a meeting in 35, 40 minutes, if that's
All right.
possible. So.
Well, I don't know about that. Mr. Phillips is going to be dependent upon Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson, is there a plea offer for Mr. Phillips?
I'll have to look at that individually, Judge. I'm
All
doing
right.
so right now.
Position number 8, Antonio Gray. Antonio Gray, G-R-A-Y. G-R-A-Y, Antonio Gray. Is not present. Any announcement, Mr. Henderson?
We're proceeding on that, Judge.
All right. Marcus Banks, represented by Stacy Burke.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Javier Trejo. Ms. Burke left our firm, so I'm representing Mr. Banks now.
All right.
But it's the same firm.
Understood. Thank you. All right. If the host can convert Mr. Put Mr. Marcus Banks' name on his Zoom panel. And Mr. Who is the ASG for this case?
That would be myself, Ms. Riley, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Trejo, you will be in a breakout room with Prosecutor Denise Riley.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Position 18 is Harry Bell. Mr. Banks, you can place your screen on mute. Your attorney will be talking to the prosecutor. Harry Bell Thompson. Harry Bell Thompson. Harry Thompson is not present. So what's the state's position?
We will be proceeding, Your Honor.
All right. John Harris, position 11.
He's present, Your Honor. That's going to be my case. He does qualify. I've reached out to Ms. Riley, hoping to hear some good news.
Yes, Your Honor. I will be presenting a no pros for that case.
All right, position number 11 is going to be null pros. Okay, we'll
Thank you, Ms.
expect a
Riley.
proposed order. Thank you.
Your Honor, can my client be excused, or would you wish? for him
Yes,
to remain?
Mr. Harris, thank you for being here. You've been represented by the Public Defender's Office, and the state has decided not to pursue a prosecution, so the case will be closed. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Riley.
You're welcome.
Position 19, I have Laconda Farrar, middle name Shinell, represented by Mr. Jonathan Majeski. Mr. Phillips, please mute your screen. Ms. Williams, please mute your screen.
Okay.
Mr. Farrar, represented by Jonathan Majeski.
Your Honor, the state would be proceeding on that case.
All right. Miss Smith or Mr. Jordan, if you can reach out to Mr. Majeski, he's normally here, so. And give him a Zoom link, that would be great. Position 20, I have Ontez Cox, represented by Russell Burnett. Ontez Cox, C-O-X, represented by attorney Russell Burnett. Not present. Mr. Jordan, Ms. Smith, if we could reach out to Mr. Burnett. Dylan Mason Embry. Dylan Embry, represented by attorney Jonathan Kester. Attorney Jonathan Kester. I'm assuming the state's proceeding with these charges, right? They're all
Yes.
DUIs? Okay.
With the DUIs, yes, Your Honor.
Judge, in regards to Russell Burnett, he passed away
Yeah, that's what I
a
thought.
few months ago.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, we will make a note of that. And perhaps we may have to reset Mr. Cox's case. Thank you. Antonio Jacobs. Mr. Banks,
Yes, ma'am.
please
Yes, ma'am.
mute your screen. We don't need to hear you yawning.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am.
All right, where is he? There he is. Okay. Mr. Antonio Jacobs, you have a case and how you have a right to be represented by counsel. How are you proceeding attorney-wise? Have you applied for the public defender's office?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to see if you qualify?
No, ma'am.
All right. Would you like to hire a private attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I have a private attorney.
And what's your attorney's name?
His name is
gonna
Rob
be able to get out?
Wilson.
All right, just a second. With the host, okay, thank you. Repeat your answer again. Who's your attorney?
My attorney is Rock Remsen.
Spell the first name.
Rock, R-O-C-K.
Last name is Winston.
Remsen. Rock Remsen.
R-I-M-S-O-N.
R-E-M-S-O-N.
And do you have his phone number?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. Please contact your attorney and let them know that you have a Zoom hearing and that he needs to be present.
Okay.
Please mute your screen. Make sure he shows up. Send him a copy of the Zoom link.
All right, thank you.
Do not leave the Zoom conference. Travius Parker. I do believe I saw Mr. Parker here. There he is. All right, Mr. Parker,
Yes,
are you represented by counsel?
No, I know.
Have you applied for the public defender's office?
No, ma'am.
And would you like the services of the public defender's office?
Yes.
All right. Are you awake, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you looked at the chat feature on the Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you see the message there on how to apply for the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am. Send the email.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Have you
seen
sent
the
it?
email pop up. He said,
Okay.
say that again.
Have you filled it out and sent it in?
No, I just seen the email pop up.
Have you read the instructions on the chat? You need to fill out that form, send it back to the email in that message so that they can qualify you.
All right.
Please mute your screen, fill out the application. And do not leave the Zoom. Position 30, Samika Rogers, represented by Charles Webb.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Miss Rogers passed away. I sent the death certificate to Miss Stallworth on yesterday.
And
State's announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, we are in receipt of an email from Ms. Stallworth. We will be null processing that case.
All right, Mr. Webb, this case is null processed. I'm very sorry to hear of this, but you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jasmine Ward, position 23. Jasmine Ward.
I'm here.
All right, Ms. Ward, are you represented by an attorney or have you applied for the public defender's office?
I'm talking to her now. She sent it to my email.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you just said.
I said I applied for, she sent it to my email.
Okay, and have you received a response yet?
She said application has been sent to your email, so I'm going to check my email now.
All right, so you are applying for the public defender's office. Please do not leave the Zoom and wait till the public defender's office confirms representation. Rashid Allen Bay, Attorney George White. Attorney George Thomas White, representing Rashid Allen Bay, B-E-Y. Announcement, Mr. Henderson?
Well, Your Honor, that would be my
Oh,
case.
sorry, Ms. Riley?
No problem. We will be proceeding.
All right. Denoris Yarborough, position 31. Denoris, excuse me. Okay, announcement?
Your Honor, at this time, we would proceed with that case.
I've got a null pros order from Mr. Henderson.
Okay.
Ms. Riley?
Yes, I did not have that note on my calendar, but if a null process has been submitted, that's fine.
Okay.
I must have reviewed this yesterday, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
No problem. Many cases that we're addressing, that's perfectly fine. Position 31, Denoris Yarborough, the case is now processed. Thank you. Position 25, I have Sharon Sherman. Sharon Sherman. Sharon Sherman's not present. I gather we are proceeding with this one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Veronica Starks. Is closed from a null process.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a null process was entered on January 11th.
Was it a plea or a null process?
A null process.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone's name that I did not call who is a defendant? I'm sorry, Mr. Haddad, do you say something?
If I may be heard whenever you can.
Yes, go ahead.
Your Honor, position number 12, which is on page 2, the one with Corinne Mall.
Yes, no, I don't have a 12 on page 2.
Jason Poirier.
What's the name?
Jason Poirier, P-O-I-R-I-E-R.
Oh, okay, let me, it's. Oh, I see. Page 1 on my account. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
I heard back from Ms. Mull, Judge, and she indicated that she did not receive notice. Her client, apparently his father is having triple bypass. She just requested it can be reset. I guess next week or whenever the court.
You're going to reset this to February 11th at 9 a.m.
All right. I'll send her a text, let her know.
All right.
February 11th at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. I'll let her know.
All right. Any other individuals who have a case or offenses charged against them and I did not call your name? This is your moment to unmute your screen and let me know. Okay. All right, Mr. Henderson. Yes.
Can you send a link again? I don't have it.
All right, this is Mr. Tucker.
Mr. Parker.
Mr. Parker, are you Travius Parker, position 22. And if our defense paralegal could please place the PD information on how to apply in the chat for Mr. Parker. All right, Mr. Henderson, you have the list of attorneys who you're going to go in a breakout room. And Ms.
Yeah.
Riley, yes, you have the list of attorneys with whom you are going into a breakout room.
Yes,
And
Your
Ms.
Honor.
Anderson, you also have pro se defendant Aaron Phillips also on your list.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Who has Mr. Ross Gordon? Because he's looking younger and younger as time moves on. So
I'm sorry, Judge.
that's fine. It's very cute. Okay, no problem. Just go ahead. Miss Essen Smith is the host, so she will place you in your breakout room. The rest of the defendants who are applying with the Public Defender's Office, as soon as they respond, they will let me know the status of your particular case. That would be Pierre Shy, Pubula Williams. Mr. Phillips, you're going to a breakout as well as waiting on the Public Defender's application, as well as Parker and Ward.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Whale?
I have, and this is primarily for Mr. Parker, I have again reposted that application information in the chat. Also, our office has not yet received any completed applications. So if there are any issues with that, the defendants can feel free to contact me in the chat or to contact our paralegal, Ms. Vogel, who is also in the chat.
Sent a completed application to Ms. Vogel just a bit ago, Mr. Vale. It said it's pending, so.
Okay, so Mr. Phillips is pending.
Okay.
All right, so let me know, but we're going to be in recess for the public defense applications to come through and for ASGs to go into their breakout with the attorneys so indicated. All right, private attorneys, please be patient. As soon as the ASGs are completed with one conference, they will come back into the main room and ask for you to be placed into a breakout room. Okay, thank you.
And may I be placed in a breakout room with attorney Javier Trejo?
Just one moment, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Henderson, when you're ready, I'd love to just chat.
Okay, I'm sorry. Someone asked to be put in a breakout room.
Yes, ASG Riley with attorney Javier Trejo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please mute your screen unless you're called. And the prosecutor will come back to the main room and ask for the next person to go in the breakout room. Do not call out to the prosecutor. They will call out and they will call out the order in which they are interviewing folks. All right, thank you.
I apologize, Mr. Gordon. Who are you meeting with in a breakout room?
I'm to meet with Mr. Henderson when he's available.
Okay, you have several clients that he needs to meet with.
I figured as much.
Is there anyone else?
I believe that's all for now. We just have two ASGs, Riley and Henderson. So they will come out and call for the next person.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I make an updated announcement regarding Alan Phillips's application?
Alan Phillips, let me get to that case, position 28.
And Mr. Phillips, are you also on the line?
I am.
Okay. Your Honor, and Mr. Phillips, unfortunately, after reviewing your application, it appears that based on your income, you would not qualify for public defender services for a misdemeanor case, so we cannot represent you. However, you do have the right to an attorney, and I would suggest that you speak to an attorney before entering a plea in this case, or deciding how you want to proceed in this case going forward.
I understand. I've been trying to get the offer sent over. They mentioned it, like I said, verbally before. So I'm just trying to understand what it is. I don't live in the state, haven't for 2 years. And this is a 7-year-old case. So I don't understand why, I've already spent jail time due to miscommunication.
Well, sir, I hear you, but just right now, because this is recorded. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bale. Mr. Phillips, that's very good advice from Mr. Bale. But right now you are here and so we're going to have you speak to the prosecutor. Please remember your right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say to the prosecutor, your statements can and will be used against you. So as soon as Mr. Henderson's available, he will call out to you, and then you can decide whether you want to move forward or whether you would like to have a trial. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Trejo, you would like to speak to Mr. Banks?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. If we could be put in a breakout room briefly just to discuss the state's offer, that'd be really appreciated.
All right. Where is he? Oh, I see him there. Okay. Miss Essen Smith, if you're available, the host.
I am.
Could you place Attorney Javier Trejo with Rohan Law in a breakout room with Marcus Banks?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Smith, please place Attorney Nicholas Benzine in a breakout room with Chester Norman.
You, Michael? We don't have a Norman.
Your Honor.
Yes.
She's currently in a breakout room with Mr. Henderson.
I was in a breakout room, Judge, with Mr. Benzine's client, but not him.
Oh, Mr. Benzine, where is he? No, he was present.
He was in a breakout room, Judge, so I just put him in a breakout room with his client.
Okay, is Mr. Henderson going back into that breakout room or?
I think he wanted to talk to his client about the plea offer.
So Mr. Henderson, you want to call the next case? You want to talk to Mr. Phillips while you're waiting?
Sure, Judge.
Okay. Let's put Mr. Henderson and Mr. Phillips in a separate breakout room. And then Mr. Henderson, just send a message out if you need to go back into Benzine's breakout.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Judge. Number 28.
Your Honor, this is Bruce Vail from the Public Defender's Office.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Miss Jasmine Ward has submitted an application. It appears she does qualify. May I be placed in a breakout room with her to discuss her case?
All right. Ms. Smith, may we place Miss Ward? And that was, what was the full name? Was it Jasmine Ward?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jasmine Ward. And I just want to make sure her name is on the screen. Okay.
I just finished speaking with my client, Your Honor. Whenever you or the state are ready, we can go ahead and let you know what we're planning on doing today.
Okay. Were you talking to Mr. Riley or Mr. Anderson? I think it was
Miss Riley, Your Honor.
Miss
Miss
Riley.
Riley.
Okay. As soon as she's back with us.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Ms. Riley, whenever you're ready, we'll be addressing position number 16. State versus Marcus Banks, 17 CR 006202G. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
Mr. Trejo?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. So I've spoken with Miss Riley. We are still waiting on the body worn camera for the officer's stop, and Miss Riley's agreed to see if we can have a reset so we can come back and discuss the case again once we've had a chance to review the video of my client.
Let me see what's going on here. Incident date was November 29, 2015. The case was accused in February of 2017. All right. Looks like discovery was provided on January 6th of 2022. Was the video not provided at that time?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And how long would it take for the video to be furnished, Ms. Riley?
Your Honor, I'm sending a note to our investigative team now, but I would think they would need at least a week to get that prepared for Mr.
I'm going to reset this case to February 11th at 9 a.m. for an arraignment and a plea if one is being entertained.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So position 16 is reset February 11th, 9 a.m.
Great. And will that be virtual again, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do you know? Okay,
Yeah.
great. May I be excused?
You can
sorry, go
presume
ahead.
it's all going to be virtual until we get the banner report from the Supreme Court.
Sounds good. That was the only matter that I had today, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. You have a good weekend.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. Thank you so
You
much,
too.
Your Honor.
Thank you. I think your client's already left. Yes.
He did. He may have, I think he was trying to leave the breakout room and then he ended up just leaving the call entirely.
All right, let him know 2 Fridays from now, February 11th
Yes, ma'am.
at 9 a.m. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Miss Riley, are you in a position to confer with any of the other cases? Mr. Henderson is still in a meeting. I don't know whether y'all can crisscross or.
I can certainly try, Your Honor. Yes,
All
I can
right.
look up.
While we're doing that, I see Mr. Benzine is out and Mr. Henderson is out. Anything to report on the Norman cases?
I was actually in with Mr. Phillips, number 28, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we haven't been able to get into the room with Mr. Henderson. I think he was in there with my client, and then I never got the invite. And then when I got it, Mr. Henderson was out. So we're still waiting to speak.
All right. All right, Mr. Henderson, anything to report on Phillips?
Number 28, I've reviewed the evidence, gone over the case with the defendant, and I'm unable to proceed on the evidence we have at this time, so I'm going to tender a null pros.
Mr. Phillips, the state is not going to pursue a prosecution, so the case is closed. You are free to go. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Henderson, would you like to confer with Mr. Benzine? I'm afraid there was a bit of in and out situation there.
That would be great, Judge.
All right, Ms. Smith, if you could please, and Mr. Benzine, it'll just be you and Mr. Henderson, correct?
Sorry, it would be helpful if my client could be in there as well. If that's, I normally don't do that, but this case I think warrants it.
All right, Ms. Smith, if you could place Mr. Henderson, Mr. Benzine, and Mr. Norman. And Chester Posler. I don't know why I've got.
The case is so old, she's changed names, and been married and had babies.
All right, okay. So Chester Posler, who is also known as Chester, formerly known as Chester Norman. All right, if we place the 3 of them in a breakout room, please. And Mr. Henderson, since I've got a couple more people, have we resolved the issue with Mr. Edie?
Is that mine?
That is, yes, defendant conteste, and Ganna conteste.
What number is it, Judge?
Position 2 on page 1.
I've got a note here to pre-try that with counsel.
Right. Miss Riley is available. Is there any cases that she can take off your hands right now?
She could pick and choose any one of them. She'll probably be as familiar with as I am with them, since they're so old.
Sure, I can speak with Mr. Edie.
All right, Mr. Edie.
I've already looked at Mr. Benzine's cases, so probably be best to talk to him while they're all fresh in my mind.
All right, Ms. Smith, please place Mr. Henderson in the virtual room with Mr. Benzine and Ms. Posler. And Ms. Riley, is Mr. Edie, is he in a breakout room?
He is, Judge. He's in room 1.
Okay, could we send him a message if the prosecutor may join them, or whether he's ready to join Ms. Riley to pre-try the case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's good. Yes, Mr. Benzine, and Mr. Henderson, anything to report on Ms. Postler's case?
Yes, Your Honor, on number 13 and 14, much as I would really enjoy the thrill of going to trial on 14-year-old cases, and after hearing some of the things that that the defendant went through with regard to her prior attorney that's no longer with us on the bar by virtue of the conduct that occurred with some money going and things like that, I'm going to go ahead and do an all pros on both these cases. She's done the things we would have had her do anyway. So I'm going to give her credit for that, and the fact that since the passage of time, she did not know about these cases still being open because she thought she had done a plea through her attorney and found out when she got flagged getting her renewal or getting her global entry passed. So taking all that into account, I think interest of justice would require me to do an all pros.
All right. Anything to add, Mr. Benzine?
No, Your Honor. That summed it up perfectly.
Thank you. Ms. Postler, formerly known as Ms. Norman, your cases are both now closed. I'll be issuing what we call a null pros of notice of intent not to prosecute, and those orders will go in, and your attorney should be able to obtain copies from the court's docket probably by later today. All right. Thank you, Mr. Benzine. Ms. Postler, you're both free to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Henderson, you have Mr. Gordon with representing Mr. Lewis. And,
Is he coming in with his other counsel, his junior counsel, or?
Mr. Gordon,
I'm not.
junior
Just
counsel
me.
joining us.
No, he hasn't passed the bar yet, Judge. He's waiting on his results.
Still under Toddler Practice Act. So
That's right.
All right. The other question I had was, Mr. Gordon, is your client joining you in the breakout room, or will it just be counsel for now?
Just counsel for now, Judge.
All right. Mr. Lewis, the attorneys are going to discuss your case, and if your presence is warranted, they will summon you shortly. Okay?
What number is this, Judge? Just so I can.
This is position 6 on page 5 on my calendar.
Got it.
And this is Hector T. Lewis. All right, Ms. Smith, if you could place Mr. Gordon and Mr. Henderson in a breakout room, please. And Mr. Antonio Jacobs, have you had a chance to reach out to your attorney, Mr. Remsen?
No, ma'am, I haven't. No, ma'am, I haven't. I think he's in trial this week, though.
Right, we don't have a trial notice.
I think he's in trial somewhere else.
I know, but they normally file a conflict notice. Let us know. So let me see. This is Mr. Jacobs. Position 29. We don't have an attorney filed an entry of appearance.
I don't know why. I just was incarcerated for like 10 months. He always handles all my cases. He didn't want to inform me that I had Zoom this morning, but he told me I wouldn't be he wouldn't be present. But I was just trying to see if he could fax the paperwork over, showing proof that I was incarcerated for the last 10 months. Like, would it just be time served or something? Because I don't think the case is serious.
All right. So presently, you are not represented by Mr. Remsen. I'm going to wait for Miss Riley, the prosecutor, to appear, and then we can address your case.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please mute your screen.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Jacobs, if you want to apply for the Public Defender's Office to see if you qualify, you're more welcome to do so. And you will need to fill out the application that's on the chat feature.
Okay, thank you.
Grab a introduce. Ms. Riley? Okay, I have defendant Antonio Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It appears he's still on mute.
Mr. Jacobs, hello? You could
Yes,
unmute and
yes,
start your
ma'am.
video. Start your video, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Riley,
Yes,
while you were
ma'am.
out, Mr. Jacobs, it appears is not represented by Brock Remsen for this particular case. He may be
Okay.
represented in other cases. I've recommended that he either apply for the Public Defender's Office or he also has a right to waive counsel and have a conversation with you, keeping in mind his right to remain silent about the facts of the case. And anything he says, his statements can and will be used against him. What would you like to do, Mr. Jacobs?
I would like to speak with her. I would like to proceed. I don't think the case is serious, and I also been incarcerated for the last 10 months. I just got out last week, and my lawyer was supposed to handle it to get everything ran concurrent before I was released, but I guess he didn't.
Right, so Mr.
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Jacobs, please start your video. You can't switch off your video. All right, so I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Ms. Riley, understanding that presently you are waiving your right to counsel. And again, remind you of your right to remain silent and against self-incrimination. Do you understand, sir? Mr. Jacobs, do you understand?
I believe he's frozen, Your Honor.
Yes,
All right. I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Ms. Riley, our prosecutor. Ms. Smith, if you could place Ms. Denise Riley and Antonio Jacobs in a breakout room, please. Mr. Bale?
Yes, Your Honor. I have just spoken to Miss Jasmine Ward. Again, our office will represent her. This is a family violence battery case. Based on my conversation with Miss Ward, if the state is willing to make an offer that involves a reduction to some charge other than family violence battery, I think we might be able to reach a resolution today. If they are not, she would not be prepared to enter a plea today. So I just wanted to make that kind of clear to the state to avoid wasting time.
All right. Mr. Henderson, just one second, Mr. Bale. Mr. Henderson, anything to report on the Lewis case?
Your Honor, much as I would like to seek restitution for the fire hydrant that this person hit in the one car accident and dragged from the scene before stopping, and obviously wasn't drinking or they would have been arrested for that. But they charged him with theft by taking of the fire hydrant that was attached to his front bumper. I'm declining to prosecute that. And I'll go ahead and make a recommendation in my NALPROS of all the charges that the record be restricted.
Mr. Gordon, anything to add?
No, Judge, we're just asking the court to accept and sign the order. And if there are any issues with the record restriction, I may submit an order to Your Honor down the road. I know Mr. Henderson does not have any opposition to that, to ask that the record be restricted if it doesn't occur automatically with GCIC.
All right. Mr. Hector Lewis, the case against you, in which you were accused of theft by taking, giving false information to an officer, driving while license suspended or revoked, hit and run, and failure to maintain lane, and a second count of hit and run. Those charged from a December 24th, 2014 incident. The state is going to proceed with a closure of the case by the entry of the NALPROS with your record restricted. The order will be issued and filed shortly, and your attorney would be able to obtain a copy later today. Anything else, Mr. Gordon?
No, Judge, that's all the business I have. May myself and Mr. Lewis be excused.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
You
Judge.
both
Good to
will be
see you.
You too, sir. Thank you.
And thanks, Mr. Henderson.
All right, take care.
All right, Mr. Henderson, we have Public Defense Attorney, Mr. Bruce Bale, who's representing Ms. Jasmine Ward.
What number is that?
Ms. Ward is position 23. I think she's on page 9, on the last pages on the calendar. Anyway. And she qualifies for the services of the Public Defense Counsel office. So, Mr. Bale, what was your proffer again with regards to the prosecutor?
Your Honor, and Mr. Henderson, Ms. Ward is charged with family violence battery. If the state would be willing to consider a reduction.
I'm sorry,
the,
Mr. Bale.
I'm sorry.
Just one second. Yeah.
In the background.
With Ms. Smith, could you please remove Hector Lewis from the Zoom? Thank you. Sorry about that, Mr. Bale. Please continue.
Your Honor, if the state would be willing to consider a reduction from family violence battery to some lesser charge, we would be. I think we might be able to reach a resolution today. If not, then we would not be prepared to go forward with a plea. So I just wanted to make that clear to the state before we did a breakout room.
All right,
Okay.
so Mr. Henderson and Mr. Bale, do y'all want to go into breakout room?
Yes, I think so.
All right.
Yes,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Smith, if we could place Mr. Henderson and Mr. Bale in a breakout room, and Ms. Ward will wait here until she's summoned. All right, we have Mr. Edie, who represents Mr. Contaste, and Ms. Riley. Anything to report?
Yes, Judge. After conversations with Ms. Riley and my client, I believe we have an offer that I believe we will accept. Only thing I want to put on the record is my request is that we get a continuance to the quickest calendar, ethically, and we just have to have our hands on the discovery. I tend to know what the discovery may show, and I think that this resolution will be the best thing. But after speaking to Ms. Smalley, she told me that the discovery must be made available in a hard copy because it's not electronic, it's an older case. So if they can make this available for me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at any time, I will be able to pick it up, literally look at it with my client with the amount of time that we need. And if you can put us on whatever the earliest calendar may be, I believe at that moment we'll be in a position to accept the offer that was given to us by the state.
Your Honor, that
Ms.
is
Wiley?
correct. It is a 2008 case, and when I look in Odyssey, I'm not able to see it. They don't have documents that old in Odyssey, and so it would have to be given to them or given to Mr. Edie in paper form.
All right, case is reset to February 11th at 9 a.m. for a plea.
11th.
Is that soon enough, Mr. Edie?
If that's the earliest, that'll work. February 11th will be good.
I'm in abundance of caution. I am just making sure there's adequate time for the prosecutor to retrieve the discovery and either have it scanned and emailed to you or mailed by United States Postal Service to you. So hopefully when you receive it, you would be able to confer with your client and make a decision. And February 11th, I think, would be a reasonably early time.
I appreciate it, Judge. That would be it. Ms. Smalley, do you need me to just contact you, or will you be in contact with me once available?
Yes, I do have your email and phone number. I will be in contact once it's made available.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Riley. I apologize. I said Ms. Smalley, Ms. Riley.
No problem.
That concludes
one more thing before we leave this case. Ms. Riley, in addition to that, could you submit the plea paperwork for Mr. Edie and his client to review and sign off on?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Edie, if we address a plea, just make sure that your clients had an opportunity to review the paperwork with you and then submit that to either Mr. Michael Jordan, michael.jordan@fultoncountyga.gov.
Okay.
All right. Yes, sir. Mr. Edie, if you have nothing else, you are free to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
in Your Honor, I've also spoken with Mr. Jacobs, and he is not inclined to accept the state's offer.
All right. All right, let's go back to Mr. Jacobs, position 29.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Let me see what's going on in your case. All right, Mr. Jacobs, your case is 17 CR 024137G, State versus Antonio Jacobs, accused of reckless driving, basic rules violation, and driving without a valid license from March 21st, 2017. With regards to this particular case, it was accused on October 2nd, 2017. We've had a couple of issues with bond forfeitures and bench warrants in this particular case, and it has not been arraigned. Your last bench warrant was addressed on July 8th, 2020, where you made a bond on April 22nd, 2020. So today is the arraignment calendar, where the case would then be scheduled for trial upon your entry of a not guilty plea. Is this how you'd like to proceed?
Yes, I would like to proceed. And you said this case is from 2017?
Yes. You did not appear in court on December 11th, 2017. You did not appear in court on October 24th, 2019. You did not appear in court on February 6th, 2020. Hence, this case could not be addressed during all this time.
Okay, yeah, I would like to proceed as not guilty. I will get my lawyer to handle it though, because I really don't remember this case.
Right, and would you be seeking a bench trial before a judge or a jury trial?
A jury.
With a bench trial, the case will be addressed within the next few weeks, or with the jury trial, possibly within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I'll do it with the jury.
Okay. Ms. Riley, Mr. Jacobs, you'll have your case arraigned, which means that you'll be entering a not guilty plea. Once your case is arraigned, your attorney has 10 days to file all the necessary paperwork for discovery, to seek file any motions or anything with regards to preserve your defenses. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So time is of the essence. You need to reset this case as soon as possible. You need to make sure your attorney files all the necessary paperwork. Would you like me to read the accusations, or do you waive a reading of the accusations?
I would like for you to read them.
All right, in case 17 CR 024137G, the state has filed 3 accusations against Mr. Antonio Jacobs from an incident of March 21st, 2017. Mr. Jacobs, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. You do have a right to an attorney. If you can afford one, you can apply to the Public Defender's Office. But today your case will be arraigned. Upon your entry of a not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for a jury trial. In this particular case, the Solicitor General of Fulton County has accused you of reckless driving in misdemeanor. But that said accused did drive a vehicle on a roadway or highway of the state in reckless disregard for the safety of persons or property thereon, and about such roadway or highway in violation of Georgia Law 40-6-319. The Solicitor General's office also accuses the defendant of basic rules violation, to operating a vehicle at a speed greater than it's reasonable and prudent under the conditions, and having just no regard for the actual and potential hazards then existing on the roadway in violation of Georgia Law 40-6-180. And the third misdemeanor offense, the Solicitor General's office does accuse the defendant with the offense of driving without a valid license, but that the said accused did operate a motor vehicle without being issued a valid driver's license for the type or class of vehicle being driven in violation of Georgia Law 40-5-20A. With regards to these 3 misdemeanor offenses, upon your entry of a not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for a trial, at which time the prosecution has the complete burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt and overcome your legal presumption of innocence. If the state does prevail, you could be convicted of one or more of these charges and face a penalty of up to a year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine for each convicted offense. Given this information, how do you plead? Mr. Jacobs? Is he?
It appears that he's lost signal and dropped off, Your Honor.
Well, I hope he comes back in. And just FYI, I'm going to reset this case to the last Friday Orca calendar of February 25th. Do we have either time available? 25th, that's the last Friday of February. Okay, so 9 a.m. That's all right. It's going to be reset to February 25th at 9 a.m. Is Mr. Jacobs back with us?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right. So we're going to reset the case for it to be arraigned, and let's see what he and this attorney come up with. All right. Oh, Mr. Jacobs, you're back. Hello.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Jacobs, did you hear the information I gave you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, given that information, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
All right, sir. Your case has been arraigned. Your attorney has 10 days to file all the necessary paperwork for discovery and any motions in order to preserve your defenses. These time is of the essence. You will need to make sure your attorney gets on board within the next couple of days so as to file all the necessary paperwork. Your next court date is going to be February 25th at 9 a.m. Please make sure that you and your attorney appear at that time.
All right, thank you.
All right. And you'll be appearing for a possible plea. Make sure that your attorney reaches out to the prosecutor, Ms. Denise Riley, at the Solicitor General's office. And I've forgotten the main number. Was it 404-613-2800? Was that?
612-4800.
Okay. The number, do you have something to write down, Mr. Jacobs?
It's 44612-4800.
Correct. And ask for prosecutor, Ms. Denise Riley, so that you and your attorney can discuss this case for a possible plea on February 25th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. You're free to go now. Thank you. All right, Mr. Vale, are we ready? Have you all had a chance to discuss? I think for Ms. Ward, we've also reset our case, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have Mr. Shai, Ms. Williams, and Mr. Parker.
Your Honor, it appears, and if I could just double check in the chat to make sure, but I have not yet received applications from any of those three defendants, Shai, Williams, and Parker. I will check in the chat and an email to see if I have any updates. And no, I'm seeing from Ms. Vogel that is correct, that we do not have applications from them yet.
All right, let's try starting one by one. Pierre Shai. Pierre Shai, if you could please start. Yes. All right. Mr. Shai, there have been numerous requests that you submit your application for public defense, and they have not received a completed application from you.
Oh, I try to connect it to my phone, but it keeps saying application not found every time I go put it in.
All right. You are what was your email?
Babychevy1 at
You need to put
gmail.com.
that, you need to put that in the chat
Okay.
so they can send you an application for you to fill out. What's the email? Put it in the chat, all right? While you're doing that, Ms. Pubula Williams,
All right, I did it.
all right, Mr. Vale or Mr. Haddad, if you can see Mr. Shai's email there. It says,
Yeah.
all right, please email him the application so that he can fill that out. And Mr. Shai, you have to fill that out today. I'm going to arraign your case today. Otherwise, you'll need to come down and apply in person and make sure or hire an attorney within the next couple of days. All right, Ms. Bubula Williams. She's trying to connect.
And Your Honor, I did, and I believe Ms. Vogel did this as well, but I emailed the application myself to the email that she provided earlier, but I have not received anything back from her.
All right. I think we're still trying to get Ms. Williams to connect on audio. Mr. Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You gave us your email and an application hopefully was sent to you. Have you filled out and submitted the completed application?
Yeah, I haven't got the application yet. I'm still waiting for the application to come in.
Did you check your email?
Yes, ma'am.
And your email was JONY Parker
Yes,
39
ma'am.
at gmail.com. Mr. Whale, Mr. Haddad?
I emailed it myself, 1:01 p.m. And I know it was sent earlier, but.
Mr. Parker, you might want to check your spam.
All right, I'm finna check it now.
All right, Miss Williams? Please unmute. All right, Miss Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, have you sent in your completed application?
I haven't. I got the application, but it won't let me fill it out. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. It won't let me type the information in. So I'm working on figuring that out.
All right, we're going to take another 10 minutes for the three of them to fill it out. Otherwise, we're going to arraign the cases. And then the three of them can come down to the courthouse with their completed applications or fill it out at the courthouse. And if they do not qualify, you'll need to hire an attorney as soon as possible, because after the case is being arraigned, you have 10 days to have your attorney file all the necessary paperwork. I'm just trying to make sure that the Miss Williams case has been arraigned. Check. All right. Ms. Williams, Mr. Parker, and Mr. Shah, you have 10 minutes to go ahead and make sure the applications are with the Public Defender's Office. Let's check their status. On Mr. Shah, position number 7. Oh, that's not right.
Your Honor, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to get it done. So maybe I can go somewhere and get it downloaded from my phone and have it printed out and just mail it in.
Nope, you're gonna need to get it done now. This is why you showed up in court. All right.
Your Honor, it's not letting me type anything on the application.
All right. Let me see. This is Pierre Shai.
No, Mr. Parker.
No, Your Honor, I believe that's Mr. Parker that's speaking.
Okay, Mr. Parker, hang on. All right. Mr. Pierre Shai.
Yes, I'm doing mine now.
right. By the way, Mr. Pieshai also has a court date before Judge Mather for a jury trial on February 7th.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what position number is he or page number?
Mr. Shai is position number 17.
Thank you.
So hopefully we'll get his application to see whether he wants to address a possible plea, or he's got a trial date with Judge Mather for a jury trial on February 7th. All right. So Mr. Shai, get your paperwork in. All right.
Your Honor, if I may. Position number 23, Jasmine Ward. I understand that will be reset, but, and I have spoken to Mr. Henderson about that. If we could briefly put the current resolution on the record, because Ms. Ward does intend to accept that.
Okay. I'm just going to put down reset to February 11th at 9 a.m. for a plea. Is that what we decided?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
If I can, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what was the proposed plea?
I will be filing an amended accusation to the offense of disorderly conduct. Will recommend 12 months probation, conditioned upon 30 hours of community service and 8 weeks anger management, and that probation may terminate upon completion of the conditions.
All right.
Your Honor, and Ms. Ward accepts that offer.
And we can't do that today?
I believe it's because it's basically an amended accusation. It was originally family violence battery, and the plea would be to disorderly conduct. So there needs to be some time to get that completed.
I can do it today, but it might take me about 10 minutes or so.
And Your Honor, if the court would prefer this to be completed today, I mean, the defense can do that as well.
Ms. Ward, are you prepared to go forward with the plea today? Is she here with us?
She should be. I spoke to her in the breakout room just a moment ago.
She's here. She's here. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem, and we can amend the accusation and we can put it down on the plea paperwork that she is pleading guilty to disorderly conduct, and not, you just have to put down the front page of the plea sheet, and then the state can go ahead and file the amended accusation sua sponte as well. I don't have to reset the case to February 11th to wait for all this. Is that acceptable?
That would be fine with the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Bale, do you have the paperwork that you've gone over with your client, and has she checked off all the boxes, or would you like some time to just go over that with her?
Well, no, Your Honor, I have gone over her rights, but I have not. She doesn't have the plea paperwork yet. She just applied today, so she would need to get that and completed. But that was another.
We also allow defense counsel to sign if they've got express permission of their client.
In that case, then I think we can. I think if I could just work with Mr. Henderson a bit, I think we can put that together.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready. Go ahead, Mr. Henderson.
Sorry,
Okay.
not my day for timing. If we could go ahead and send, if the court can send in the plea paperwork, I'm gonna go off screen to prepare the amended accusation. Would that be possible?
Yeah. Randy, can we do that? Send it. Send that to Mr. Henderson and Mr.
Or
Vale.
to Mr. Vale, yeah.
Yeah, send it to Mr. Vale. All right, folks, we're going to do a plea on Jasmine Ward. And Mr. Vale, please explain to your client that she'll be reporting to probation on Tuesday, which is the next business day within 48 hours, okay?
Judge?
Yes, Ms. Williams, I'll be with you shortly. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Vale, we good?
Yes, Your Honor, we are all set.
Okay. All right. So let me know when you both are ready. I'm moving on to Pueblo Williams. Okay.
Yes.
That is.
Judge, I couldn't get this application done, so I guess I'll just represent myself.
Well, hold on, Miss Williams. That I really don't think that's a good idea. If I may, I believe the court has said that you may either email the application in or come to our office in the courtroom, fill out a paper copy, and turn it in that way. You can do that too. So, I mean, it is very likely that we will be able to represent you. We just have to have that application first so we can verify that you qualify.
All right. So, Ms. Pueblo Williams, please understand what I'm going to say next. In your particular case, you were accused of simple battery domestic violence from June 16, 2015. Ms. Williams, where are you? Hello? She disappeared again. Ms. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you need to start your video, please. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no about it. You have to do that.
No, I was trying to figure out how.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay.
So your case was accused and a waiver of arraignment was filed on September 8, 2020. So your case is already arraigned. You will come down to the public defender's office with the completed application to see if they can represent you. If it turns out that you do not qualify for the services of the public defender's office, you will return to court on February 11th at 9 a.m., either via Zoom or in person in courtroom G33, at which time you will bring your hired attorney. Because if you don't qualify for the public defender's office, you will have to hire your own attorney. And if you don't have a private attorney, then you would have to represent yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your next court date is going to be February 11th. As I've said, your case has already been arraigned. I mean, you've already filed a waiver of arraignment. So we will see you on February 11th for a possible plea. Do you, is that all right, Mr. Bale?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And this is Miss Williams, and she was position 27. Just have to find out which page number she was on. I find it. Thank you. All right. We said February 11th for possible plea.
I'm still in court.
And Miss Williams, please understand that time is of the essence. You need to come down to Fulton County Public Defender's Office first thing Monday morning. Make sure your application is delivered so they can review it and decide whether they can represent you. If not, you would need that time to hire a private attorney so that you're available and ready on February 11th.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you on February 11th. Please don't forget to show up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
All right, moving on, we have Mr. Shy.
Yeah, I guess I'll just do the same thing she did, because this application thing is, I don't know. I can't do it right here on the computer.
But let me see, what's the nature of your case, Mr. Shy? Her case was already Mr. Shy, okay.
Oh, man. Grab that key. Oh, today.
My God.
Okay. I don't see. We've just got bench warrants. Last one was released on a signature bond on February 21st, 2020. All right. Mr. Shah is already scheduled for a jury trial before Judge Mather. So, Mr. Shah, do you know you are scheduled for jury trial already before Judge Mather?
No, I did not know that, ma'am.
All right, you need to, and that's going to be on February 7th at 9:30 a.m. in courtroom 2E. We have a Camp Valley. I'm sorry, is someone talking also in the same room with you? Mr. Shai, could you lower the phone so we can see you? All right. Is Camp Valley Road your current address?
Yes.
6585?
Yes.
All right. So notices should have been sent out to you. All right. So you are going to come down on Monday and submit your completed application to the Public Defender's Office to see if you qualify for their services so they can represent you either at the jury trial. Mr. Henderson, I don't know if this case will reach trial with Judge Mather on February 7th. Do you want me to place it on the February 11th calendar in the event your trial is not reached?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sorry? I'm sorry. Okay. February 11th is now full up. So we're going to. Sorry? Yeah. We're going to reset it to February 18th. Mr. Shah, you will get a new notice to show up in for this court on February 18th. Remember, if you do not qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office, you will need to hire an attorney right away, or you can choose to represent yourself. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
So you have 2 court dates coming up. You have February 7th before Judge Mather, and if you don't go to trial and that day, then we will address your case on February 18th through this Zoom format, or you can show up in courtroom G33.
Okay.
All right, we will send you a Zoom link with the time. I'm not certain of the time, but don't forget to show up.
Okay.
All right. So this one is reset to February 18th, pending a resolution on February 7th before Judge Mather. All right. Thank you, Mr. Shah. You're free to go. Don't forget to deliver your completed application on Monday morning. Thank you. All right, Mr. Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you sent in your completed application?
I mean, I've been trying, but it ain't letting me type on the application.
Okay. All right, Mr. Parker's case has also not been arraigned. So, Mr. Parker, I'm going to arraign your case for the misdemeanor offenses of battery and simple battery from June 20th, 2019. Upon your entry of a not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for trial, but I'll also reset it for a possible plea. Do you understand, sir?
Can you say that again? I ain't hear you.
Well, tell me when you're ready to hear me.
All right, you can go ahead.
You have until Monday morning to come down and deliver your completed application to see if you qualify for the public defender's office. If you do not qualify, you would need to hire an attorney to represent you. And your next court date is going to be February 18, 2022 at 9 a.m.
All right.
All right. If you do not qualify, be prepared to either have an attorney represent you or choose to represent yourself. And you can discuss your case with the prosecutor to see if there's a possible plea. Otherwise, we will head for a trial. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, and I have a question. If I can still complete this application, can I still send it in? Or
Yeah,
it'll be
sure.
too late?
No, but whatever you do, it has to be received by the public defender's office by Monday.
All right, all right.
In the meantime, I'm going to arraign your case. In other words, you will be entering a plea of not guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you don't qualify for the public defender's office, make sure that whoever you hire next, they file all the necessary paperwork for discovery and to preserve your defenses within 10 days of today.
All right.
You have 10 days to make sure your attorney files all the necessary paperwork.
All right.
So would you like me to read the accusations or do you waive a reading of the charges?
You can read them to me.
All right. In case 17 CR 0248576, Mr. Travius Parker has been accused by the Solicitor General's Office of Fulton County of 2 misdemeanor offenses. The first one being the offense of battery for the said accused in Fulton County on that particular date, April 21st, 2017, intentionally caused visible bodily harm to Desaya Graves in violation of Georgia law 16-5-23.1. The Solicitor General's office also accused Mr. Parker of simple battery for that said accused in Fulton County on the same date, intentionally caused physical harm to Desaya Graves in violation of Georgia law 16-5-23. These are 2 misdemeanor offenses to which once you enter a plea of not guilty, the case will be scheduled for trial and also trigger the 10-day limit for to demand discovery as well as file other motions. You are legally presumed to be innocent of these charges, and upon trial, the state would have the complete burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If the state prevails, you could be convicted of 1 or more of these offenses and face a penalty of up to a year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine for each convicted offense. Given this information, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
All right, sir, your case has been arraigned. Time is of the essence. You really don't have too much time to waste. Make sure that you get qualified by the public defender's office or hire a private attorney who will then file all the necessary paperwork by February 11th, 2022. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else, sir?
No, that's it.
All right. Your next court date is February 18th at 9 a.m.
All right.
Thank you. You're free to go.
All right.
Okay, I think we've addressed everyone except Ms. Ward, Mr. Vale, and Mr. Henderson. Are we prepared to go forward with the plea?
I am signing the null pros of that 1 count and forward an accusation amendment to the litigation manager right as we speak.
Your Honor, I believe we are prepared to go forward, and again, we would like to thank the state for offering this resolution. Ms. Ward did just send me a text message with a quick question. I believe I answered that for her. So I think we're ready to go forward.
All right. Ms. Ward, if you could unmute your screen and start your video, please.
Okay.
And your video, start video.
It says you can't start your video because the host has disabled it.
Oh, okay. Ms. Smith, we enable Ms. Ward's video ability? All right, good, thank you. All right, Ms. Jasmine Ward, your case number is 17 CR 025718G, in which you were originally accused of battery domestic violence, but the state has now decided to pursue a reduced offense of disorderly conduct. You have the right to remain silent about the facts of your case. Your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and you're represented by Mr. Bruce Whale with the Public Defender's, Fulton County Public Defender's Office. For purposes of this plea, could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Henderson, what's the recommended offer for Ms. Ward to a 1 count of disorderly conduct?
Your Honor, the recommendation is 12 months probation, condition upon doing 30 hours of community service, 8 weeks of anger management. That is 1 class a week, obviously. And that probation may terminate upon the conditions being met.
Thank you. Mr. Bale?
Your Honor, Ms. Ward was born and raised in Atlanta. She completed through the 11th grade at Grady High School and is currently working on her GED. She does have 1 young child, I believe a 2-year-old, and she is the sole caregiver for that child. She primarily works.
She's 7. The incident happened in 2007. Yeah.
I apologize, Ms. Ward, 7 years old. She primarily works in the custodial field. She regrets her involvement in this incident and but does wish to take responsibility here today, and we would ask that you accept the state's recommendation.
All right. Ms. Ward, are you under, oh, by the way, Mr. Bale, do we stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ward, do you, are you under the influence of any kind of medication, drugs, or alcoholic beverages that may impair your ability to think clearly today?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney, Mr. Bale?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea today?
No, ma'am.
With regards to the 1 count of disorderly conduct, if you decide to plead guilty to this charge, you will have to waive your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have a trial before a judge or a jury, to have the assistance of counsel so as to confront your accuser, challenge the state's case, examine witnesses, present evidence present evidence of your defenses, and have the state try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to the 1 count of disorderly conduct?
Not guilty.
Ms. Vale, a plea offer means that you are either pleading guilty or no contest to the charge. So if you're pleading not guilty, that means you want a trial. What were your intentions this afternoon?
Say it again.
If you are pleading not guilty, I will be scheduling this case for a trial. But if you are accepting the state's offer of doing community service and anger management, then your option would be to plead guilty or no contest. Which option are you going for?
Yeah, guilty and no contest.
All right, so how do you plead to 1 count of disorderly conduct?
I plead guilty to no content.
Your Honor,
all right, Mr. Bale.
I can't. May I? And I apologize for the delay. I think this may be my fault for not perhaps making this part of the plea agreement clear. Could I have just a brief moment to speak to her in a breakout room? Shouldn't be more than about 2 minutes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Smith, if you could place Ms. Ward and Mr. Bale in a breakout room, please. And is Mr. Haddad still with us?
No, Your Honor, he sent me a message indicating that he had another Zoom meeting to appear in.
No problem. I was just going to go over the calendar while you're gone. We'll just wait. Hmm. Yes, Mr. Bale?
Your Honor, I apologize for the delay. I believe we are ready to proceed.
All right. Ms. Ward, if you could unmute.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Ward, you've already spoken to your attorney. Do you understand that this, by pleading guilty or no contest to the charge of disorderly conduct, that you are accepting accountability and basically agreeing to do the terms of the sentence while on probation? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you plead to the one count of disorderly conduct?
Guilty.
Your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve on probation. While on probation, you will complete an 8-week anger management program at your expense and complete, 20 hours of community service? 30 hours, 30 hours of voluntary community service while you're on probation. I will waive your probation fees for the next 8 weeks, for the next 4 months, which will mean your probation fees shall be waived up to and including through the end of May 2022. So if you complete the 8-week anger management program and community service hours before the end of May 2022, your probation will terminate. But if you're still completing the classes or the hours, you will start paying probation fees from June 1st onwards.
Okay.
You have to report to probation no later than Tuesday, February 1st, 2022, and you will be given the address of the probation office.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Bale?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
The court,
Yes,
the
Mr.
court
Anderson?
should have my, emailed my null pros and my amended accusation to the litigation manager.
Literally, they're just being right here. Okay, got them. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Ward. You are free to go. I will sign these and make sure they are filed on docket. I'm just going to go over the calendar specifically with the 10 cases in which I have no shows. So position number on page 1, Rafael Lemus is a no-show. That case is going to be reset to February 18th at 11 a.m. on our show cause for a bench warrant calendar. Position 2, Conteste, is reset to February 11th at 9 a.m. for discovery and a plea. For position 12 is defense attorney Corinne Mull had a medical request reset. So the case is reset to February 11th at 9 a.m. For position 14 and 13 on page 2, that was Chester Norman, Chester Polster. Those cases were null pros. Position 9, Dana Quinn, was null pros. Position 10, Assam El Hubishi, is a no-show. A case is reset to February 18th, 11 a.m. for a show cause for a bench warrant calendar. Position 15, Goer Lauren, is a no-show, reset to February 18th, 11 a.m. for a show cause for a bench warrant calendar. Position 3, Alfanike Love, is null pros. Position 5, Joseph Burge, is a no-show, reset to February 18th, 11 a.m. Show cause for a bench warrant. Position 4 is null pros, Shay Wilson. Pierre Shai is reset to February 18th, pending the outcome of his February 7th calendar date with Judge Mather, and he will submit his application on Monday. Hector Lewis, position 6, is null pros. Position 27, Pagula Williams, is reset to February 11th for a possible plea. She will submit her application for public defense office on Monday. Position 7, Demario Gearing, was null pros. Position 28, Aaron Phillips, was null pros. Position 8, Antonio Gray, was a no-show, reset to February 18th show cause calendar at 11 a.m. Marcus Banks is reset to February 11th, 9 a.m. For a plea pending discovery of body cam footage. Position 18, Harry Thompson is a no-show, reset to show cause calendar on February 18th at 11 a.m. Position 11, John Harris was a null pros. Position 12, Laconda Farah is a no-show, February 18th, 11 a.m., show cause calendar. Position 20, Ontes Cox was represented by attorney Russell Burnett. That case is going to be reset to, did we reset this to February 11th? Did it make the February 11th? Okay, so this one's reset to February 18th for Mr. Cox to appear. His counsel was deceased. Position 21, Dylan Embry is a no-show, reset to February 18th, 11 a.m., show cause calendar. Position 29, Antonio Jacobs has been arraigned and reset to February 18th. No, this one was the 25th. Oh, this one's 25th, excuse me. February 25th. Time to be determined. 9 a.m. Okay. Travius Parker is reset to February 25th at 9 a.m. I'm sorry? Oh, was it 18? Okay, sorry. Travius Parker, 18? Okay. Travius Parker is the 18th, excuse me. All right. Samiko Rogers case has been null pros. Jasmine Ward was a plea. Position 24, Rashid Allen Bay is a no-show, reset to February 18th. Mr. Henderson, position 24. Okay, no, we'll just reset it to February 18th, 11 a.m. Show cause calendar. Position 31, Yarborough is null pros. Position 25, Sherman is a no-show, February 18th, show cause calendar at 11 a.m. And position 26 has been closed pursuant to a plea. I just wanted to go back to position 10. Mr. Al-Hubishi, Assam Al-Hubishi. I believe he's either on page 2 or 3. Mr. Al-Hubishi's case is from 2012. He's been in bond forfeiture status since 2012. November 8th. Is the state still pursuing this matter?
At this time, we are, Your Honor. I'll take another look at it, but given the charges, I
All right.
want to reward somebody for not showing up.
Understood. Okay, so we'll see that case on February 18th then. Okay. All right. Any questions, any comments, any corrections? Chairman? Always welcoming. No? All right, folks. Thank you very much for the completion of this Orca calendar and have a great weekend. Take care.
Judge Law, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ms. Riley. Mr. Anderson, always a pleasure. Mr. Bale, take care.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go cook my